Why did it take humans so long to figure out farming? We did it faster than all other life. We still haven't figured it out. How long do we believe it took? Even now there's so much we're learning, such as nutrient, soil, and crop rotation, but we're expanding and testing vertical farming techniques. Ever try gardening? Everything I touch dies. That's why. It wasn't an overnight innovation that people just had to hear about. Our vision of agriculture is usually row crops and production for surplus. People realized for a long time all over the world how to manipulate plants to make them grow more of what they wanted. But staying in one place and depending solely on this tactic eventually became the thing to do, especially once they began to grow things that would save and keep their value beyond their immediate consumption. They had to learn by observing what seemed to be a random occurrence. It was far less work to operate as hunter-gatherers and unnecessary due to not having the population density that would require agriculture to feed. The last ice age was 11,000 BC. By 9500 BC, the 8 Neolithic founding crops were established. We see farming originate in multiple independent places across the world at the same time, so the current popular hypothesis is that climate change made farming more viable when the ice age ended. How long did it take OP? What do you mean? Everyone in this thread is wrong. We ain't simply looking at it with the benefit of hindsight. The hunter-gatherer lifestyle is harsh, but actually takes a lot less work than agriculture. Studies of the few remaining tribes show it's around 15 hours. Ask any self-sufficient farmer how much they work every week. It's a lot more effort. And agriculture has its own serious risks. If there's a drought, for example, you starve. The benefit is a more steady food supply and getting drunk regularly. Seriously, that was one strong motive. That's why it took so long. Wasn't needed until populations got larger. Once populations got larger, they had a problem to solve. When you take a moment and think of how truly complicated the entire concept of comprehending farming is, it kinda makes more sense. To be able to perceive and understand what grows, how it grows, why it grows, when it grows, and how to grow it is a very high-level intelligence thing. Same reason we haven't figured out all the cool shit we'll have in the future, but haven't even conceived of yet. I guess that's just how long it's supposed to take beings with brains like ours, who had no prior understanding of the concept. Shame we can't compare it to anything. Maybe you mean when they transitioned into a primarily farming lifestyle. I'm sure some of them did figure it out way before those said dates. Trying to not get eaten by vicious wild animals is distracting. Because it's not as simple as it seems. On top of that, people had to figure out which plants are okay to cultivate or which animals are good to be domesticated. If we are being completely honest, we probably had a lot of farming figured out, but just hadn't formalized it. Like it wasn't a profession for ages, but people knew the seeds they spat out grew into plants. Because you get one crop a season, and until the Industrial Revolution was incredibly labor-intensive.